Empire of Shadows: How Brazil Lives on Pirate Kilowatts and Bytes. Imagine a city where power lines look like dense jungles and internet cables are tangled into knots the size of a beach ball. This is the daily reality of Brazil's favelas. Here, the laws of physics and economics work differently. In this deep dive, we'll explore how the shadow market for electricity and internet is built, who pulls the strings of this black scheme, and how much the lords of the wires actually earn. Who organizes the shadow scheme? The shadow market in Brazil isn't just random theft. It's a strictly organized vertical structure. At the top of this pyramid are the Militias. These are powerful criminal groups composed of former and current police officers, firefighters, and soldiers. Unlike traditional drug cartels, the militias don't just bet on powder. They bet on the control of basic human needs: gas, water, light, and the internet. Let's break down the hierarchy of this business and the earnings at each level. The top tier, the board of directors. These are the group leaders. They don't get their hands dirty with wires. Their job is to seize territory and physically drive out legal companies. They set the rules. Official technicians are banned from the area under threat of death. From a single large neighborhood of 20,000 to 30,000 homes, the top brass can collect anywhere from $200,000 to $500,000 in pure profit every month. This is free money, considering the resource itself, the electricity and internet bandwidth, is simply stolen from the state or major corporations. The middle tier, the engineers. These are the brains of the operation. Most often, they are highly skilled specialists who used to work for major telecom or power companies. They are lured away by massive salaries. They know exactly how to tap into a high-voltage line so that the automatic sensors don't flag the leak. They set up server rooms in basements and ensure the internet stays stable. For their work, a black engineer earns between $2,000 and $4,000 a month. In a country where the minimum wage is 10 times lower, this is a fortune. The bottom tier, the foot soldiers. These are local kids who do the most dangerous work. They climb the poles, toss copper hooks onto power lines, and pull cables through residents' windows. They are also the ones who walk the streets on the first of every month to collect cash. If someone doesn't pay, the foot soldiers cut the wire or use force. They earn between $400 and $600 a month. It's an exhausting job with a constant risk of death, either from high voltage or from police fire during a raid. The consumers. Why choose the black scheme? For an ordinary resident of the outskirts, say a janitor or a delivery driver, choosing an illegal connection isn't about wanting to break the law. It's the cold mathematics of survival. Let's compare the numbers. A legal internet package in Brazil costs about $40. A legal electricity bill, with all the heavy taxes included, can easily hit $80 to $100 a month. For a family living on $300 a month, this is an impossible luxury. The black market offers a desperate alternative. Pirate internet, known locally as Gatonet, costs only $12 to $15, and the fixed fee for electricity paid to the gang is about $20. The difference is life-changing. Saving $100 a month for a poor family means the difference between eating meat or going hungry. But there is another factor: fear. In areas controlled by gangs, residents often have no choice. If you try to connect legally, men with rifles will show up at your door and kindly explain that you should support the local business instead. The human perspective: a day in the shadows. Let's step into the home of a typical resident. Let's call him Ricardo. Ricardo has 2 young children. Right outside his door hangs a beard of hundreds of wires. When evening falls and the whole favela turns on their TVs and fans, the lights in Ricardo's house begin to flicker and dim. The voltage drops so low that his refrigerator starts making a strange, struggling noise. Ricardo knows this is dangerous. He knows that the thin, cheap wires the gangs use often can't handle the load. Every year, several houses in his neighborhood burn down due to short circuits. But he also knows that if he doesn't pay his $15 to the militia collector, his children won't be able to do their homework because the internet will be cut instantly. For Ricardo, this shadow market is both a lifeline and a golden cage. He uses modern technology and watches football through a pirate tuner, but he does so in a state of constant risk of fire or a shootout right outside his window. The national scale, a $2 billion black hole. On a global scale, the Gato system is a massive wound on Brazil's economy. In the state of Rio de Janeiro alone, the main power utility loses more than 50% of all the electricity it generates to theft. In monetary terms, that is roughly $2 billion in losses every year. The most unfair part? The government allows companies to compensate for these losses by raising tariffs for everyone else. This means that an honest office worker in the city center is paying roughly a 20% surcharge on their bill just to cover the theft in the favelas. Essentially, the Brazilian middle class is forcibly subsidizing the energy of the slums and the profits of criminal groups. Fighting this scheme is nearly impossible with standard methods. To cut a single illegal wire, you need a SWAT team, or the technicians will be killed. This is cyberpunk in its harshest form. High technology available to everyone, but controlled by men with rifles over their shoulders.